What's up everyone? Coach David here, Mr. Defiance Training. So today we're going to be talking about knee wraps. Alright, not knee sleeves. Knee sleeves are the things that you pull up like a sock. Knee wraps, it's in the name, it's what you wrap around your knees. So when will we use them? Why would we use them? Use them typically in squats. It will give you a little bit of a balance at the bottom portion of the squat, so it may help you lift a little bit more. But the main area for why these are very effective is because it helps keep your patella, or your kneecap for those who don't know what the patella is, helps keep it in place so when your squat is not shifting everywhere. So overall, it's just meant to better support your bones and all that area around the knee when you squat, especially when you're going for a lot heavier weights. So today I'm going to be showing you two ways, or maybe three, of how you can wrap your knees. One way is, I feel, the way that everyone does it, which I'm not a really big fan of. The other two, I feel, are ways that you can not only get the wrap tighter on your knee, but also gives you better support. Alright, so you see I got my two legs here, I got two knee wraps. First off, quick tip, always have it wrapped up already. It makes it so much easier to wrap your knee. The first way that I commonly see is people start from the top, which is fine. Starting from the top to bottom, I see no difference. But they just wrap around and around and around, and they just keep going over. They go down and then they come back up, just go over and over and over again until they run out of knee wrap. I mean, that's fine when you're starting, but I feel like there's more optimal ways to do it. So I'll show you one optimal way on this side and another optimal way on the other side, and you try out which ones you like. So the first one is going to be like an ongoing V pattern. You're going to cross one side, and then once you wrap it around, cross the other side. So it's going to be going one this way, one that way, one this way, one that way. So let me show you what I mean by that. I start off from the top right here. First off, the first one, you see how I'm going diagonal. Cross one way, so the outside going in, and it's going in downwards way. Okay. Now the other way, it's like you're making a giant X pattern. You see, these cross that way, now this one's crossing this way. Boom. And now again, crossing down, you see, diagonally. Now coming up diagonally. Okay. You'll make your way down and then come back up. The only time this design will change is once you get to the very end. You see, I got roughly this much. Once you get like around a foot of knee wrap left, that gives you enough clearance to get maybe one more wrap. I grab it, go all the way across, and then I tuck it in underneath. Okay, that's one way. You saw I'm going one way, one way, one way. So that will give you a little bit more spring at the bottom of the squat, so a little bit more bounce to help you get some heavier weight up. The second way will give you a little bit more bounce and a little bit more knee support. I'll show you why. I feel like this way, which is the way I always do it when I wrap my own knees, is it just locks in my patella into place a lot better, and I feel even more support. So I start off from the bottom on this way. I wrap my knees one time going up, and I make sure that, you see how it has these yellow lines? Every knee wrap will have some type of line going through the middle. The second layer will wrap around that halfway point right there, you see? And I go 4 wraps going on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, with the 2 middle wraps right over the kneecap from right here. Then I take a little bit of this design, or this pattern. I cross diagonally one way, making sure that cross is directly on top of the patella. I cross again, and then I go one more time. Cross, cross, and you see, I'm starting to run out of knee wrap. I remember what I said. Once you get to around a foot left, make sure you grab onto it and make that last cross design. Once you reach over to the top, tuck it in. Alright, so you see, this one just had diagonally crossing like that. This one was wrapped around one time, and then it started going into the X pattern. The reason why I like this X pattern is because all the pressure, all the compression is right around the patella, right in the middle where it needs the most support, so that way it's not shifting around, you're not breaking or tearing anything. Now, be sure that when you tuck in these flaps, that you only tuck in one side. You see how they're still a little bit hanging out? Do not go all the way like that to the point where you just have an extra flap all the way around. The reason why is because eventually, if you keep the wraps tight enough and long enough on your knees, you start losing a little bit of circulation. The last thing you want to do is take your time and get them off.
So look what happens on this one. I gotta find where that flap is and I gotta yank it all the way out. Whereas in this one, you see how I have to like really dig in there? This one, all I can do is grab that flap, boom, and it comes off. Alright, another quick tip for when you're unveiling them or unwrapping them, if you can, try to remember which way you started. So if this side was already like that, if you're not too much in a rush, roll it backwards that way. So you see I'm starting to wrap it in the direction that I came from, so that way when it's time to put them on again, it's easy. Watch. Let's go all the way around. I'll try to hurry up here. And keep in mind, you don't have to take your time. You can do it afterwards. I'm pretty sure when it's time to take them off, that's the last thing you want to do is is go slowly. You see, that way I'm still wrapping it, so that this way the next time you want to use them, boom, it's already ready to go. If not, if you're in a hurry to take them off, just screw it, yank it. At the end, you could always rewrap them again. There you have it. Those are 3 ways you can wrap your knees. The first one is just going all the way around, which I'm not too big of a fan of. The second one was going in that diagonal pattern, those X's. And then the third one was a little bit of a combination of both, which is what I personally prefer the most. Some key points to keep in mind is when you start off with your leg, with your quad already flexed, alright? So that way it locks your patella into place. If you have just your leg nice and relaxed when you wrap, it might wrap your knee, it might lock your patella into a spot that you don't want it, so it's just going to compromise your squat. Start off with your quad flexed, boom, then wrap it. Another point which you can mess around with it and see how you like. I hear a lot of people say you always want to go from inside out or you want to go from outside in, because they said if you go from inside out, it's going to help push your knees apart when you squat. I'm not a big believer in that. Do whatever one feels comfortable for you. Me, I just got used to starting from the inside and making my way out. And then the last thing that you should really be mindful of is the knee wrap only needs to wrap around your knee right here. This is where all the support needs to be. I said a lot of people, they only have enough knee wrap to wrap one time, and that's because they're starting all the way up here. So for example, if I were to go halfway up my thigh, you see, oh, now I'm starting to get to my knee. And then they go halfway down their calf. And then by the time they get down here, oh man, ran out of knee wrap. Now I gotta tuck it. Look how much surface area you're covering. Your calf does not need the support, your quad does not need support. Your knee is what needs the support. And there's only one layer of supportive gear here. You can double it up, give you twice the benefit. So again, only wrap around your actual knee. That's why when I do it, I start right here, right at the bottom part of the knee, right below the kneecap, so that way when I go over one time, the second time I come around, I'm already cutting off half of that patella. Then the third loop will cover the other half, the upper half of the patella, and then the fourth strand will now cover the top part of the patella. So you see, only 4 layers that should be covering that entire knee. 1 right below the kneecap, 2 on top, splitting the patella in half, and then 1 right on top of that kneecap. And then just repeat it, just focus on that area. Nothing should be going outside those borders. Just a couple things to look out for when you're wearing knee wraps. Obviously, be careful though. When you're wearing knee wrap, it's a lot of technique to know how to squat using these things. You got to get used to going a little bit lower, because these might stop you mid-rep. Obviously, be safe. If you're wearing knee wraps, I'm assuming you're lifting heavier, so please be careful. Make sure you have the spotters on the spotter on the squat rack. Make sure you got actual spotters if you want them in person. Just be real mindful of all these little things. These are just some quick tips on how to use supportive gear. Still though, train without them, strengthen up your ligaments, tendons, actual muscles, then decide to throw on some extra supportive gear. If you want any more tips about other gym wear and what it's for and how to use it, please comment down below. If you haven't already, please follow me on Instagram. Link will be down in the description below. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you all next time.